The dreaded COVID-19 has claimed the life of shipping's beloved Captain H Subramaniam. The news of the passing away this morning of this icon of the maritime industry has left many of us numbed from the shock. Those who have known Captain Subramaniam, Principal Emeritus of LBS CAMSA, will remember him with words only like luminary, pillar, stalwarts, extraordinary, leader, just, humorous, academic par excellence, distinguished, caring. The vocabulary exhausts itself of superlatives. This is probably the worst devastation in the Indian Merchant Navy yet by the COVID-19 pandemic. It's a loss to us earthlings, but heaven awaits you, sir. Hello and welcome to the 20th edition of Marex Media News Bulletin. These are the headlines on Monday, 29th of June, 2020. Aptly marking the day of the Seafarer, the Masa and Fosma combined transports 734 Indian seafarers through chartered flights from Mumbai and New Delhi to Doha and back. ICCSA appeals to Shipping Minister for support in growth of coastal and inland water shipping. MPG conducts first course of training for e-trainers. And now the news in detail. 25th June was Day of the Seafarers. Seafarers carry more than 80% of the world's trade across the globe 24/7. The food we eat, the fuel that we use in our cars, buses, from luxury items to raw materials, everything is carried by the seafarers. It has never been more important to recognize the hard work of seafarers around the world and to thank them for making our lives better. Marex thanks the seafarers for their immense contribution. We are so proud of you and thank you for keeping the world supply chain up and running in these difficult times.
Hi everyone, this is Captain Joginder Singh.
Hi, myself Rahul Dwivedi.
I am Arshdeep Kaur Dhaliwal.
Hello everyone, this is Rizwan.
Hi, it's me, Jamil.
Hi, this is Aprajita Ray.
I am Ritesh Kumar.
I'm female seafarer from India.
Hi, my name is Sunit Kumar. I'm an Indian.
Hi everyone, this is Shirish.
Hi everyone, I am Jude, Chief Cook.
Hello everyone, this is Sujit Bhardwaj.
Hi, myself Nilay Joshi.
Hi, I'm Sandeep.
My name is Vishnu Nair.
We carry millions of barrel crude oil from Middle East countries to India.
Tuna from Maldives to Thailand.
Our last cargo was soybean oil and the next cargo is going to be palm oil.
My job is to bring oil from the UAE to India.
Currently sailing on a passenger vessel as a second engineer.
I am working on a crude oil tanker. Currently, I am going from Gothenburg to Houston.
Trading from Australia to Japan.
My job is transporting daily use items around the world.
We supply grain, wheat, corn, clay, barley. My ship supplies provision, fuel and water to the oil rigs and platforms in Iran.
I am sailing on board crude oil tanker carrying oil from Nigeria to South Africa.
These seafarers have been going strong just to keep the global supply chain moving and so that everyone has food on their plate.
We are keeping our work on.
We brought energy to the world by keeping the cargo movement even during this tough time.
I am proud to be a seafarer.
I'm proud to be a seafarer.
I am really proud to keep this global supply chain running.
I'm proud to be a seafarer.
I am a proud seafarer.
And I'm proud to be a seafarer.
I am proud to be a seafarer.
And I'm proud to be as a seafarer.
I am proud to be a seafarer.
I'm proud to be a seafarer. Happy Seafarers Day. Thank you.
Very precociously, MSC's Special special charter flight took off from Rome for Goa on Seafarers Day, 25th June, with 281 crew members returning home. Mr. Prabhat Jha and Captain MP Basim from MSC conveyed their gratitude and appreciation to all seafarers around the world on this occasion. MSC is exploring all possible travel options and arranging crew relief, with thanks to various authorities for their support. On June 25th, the day of the Seafarer, the MASA and FOSMA combined transported 734 Indian seafarers through chartered flights from Mumbai and New Delhi to Doha in Qatar and back. We spoke to few seafarers leaving for Doha at Mumbai International Airport.
From MSC company, I have been joining the ship after 4 months of the lockdown. Company has made all the arrangements for our COVID testing and also transportation and repatriation for other crew also. And we are joining now from Bombay to Doha to Parmar. Company has made all the arrangements. Though these are hard times, but with little precaution, we can get through with this.
I am Paul. I am sailing as second engineer on gearbolt ship, and this is a great job done by MASA and FOSMA to retain the Indian seafarers' jobs on board. As because during this unfortunate pandemic time, it is really challenging to keep Indian jobs high at sea. So we really seafarers thank FOSMA and MASA for their great effort for this crew change, and let us join the ship and maintain Indian jobs high at sea. Thank you.
Yeah, hi. This is Captain Prakash Saroj. I'm from Elite Mariners, and internationally my company it's called Gearbulk and KGCS. We have after a long stay of 7 months at home, I think most of us, and we're joining a ship now. Our company has taken a wonderful step thanks to FOSMA, MASA, and to the Government of India, who has wonderfully helped us. And we are going back on ship and relieving our co-friends and colleagues who are already stranded there for maybe more than 7 months, 8 months. So I think it's our duty to relieve them, because they are also suffering right now on the board. And thank you, the FOSMA, and thank you, the government, and they've taken a wonderful step. Thank you so much.
My name is Captain Sudhir Kumar Jha. I am working for Volume Ship Management, Hong Kong, and our company has arranged crew change even in this situation with charter flights. It's a really commendable thing with so much of problems. And before me also many people have already joined in last few months, and now I am going to join the ship in Yokohama.
On this occasion, the Director General of Shipping, Mr. Amitabh Kumar, spoke about the steps taken by the Government of India to enable more crew changes.
The Government of India has taken several steps to repatriate the seafarers from outside the country. As you know, the ports and the anchorages India were allowed to sign on and sign off seafarers from both Indian and foreign flag vessels, and then Indian seafarers were allowed to use Vande Bharat flights and chartered flights for sign on and sign off. As a result of these efforts of the government and the shipping companies, more than 18,000 seafarers have already been repatriated, 8,000 from Indian ports and around 10,000 from chartered flights. And at the same time, around 8,000 seafarers have also signed on various vessels.
General Secretary of the Maritime Union of India, Mr. Amar Singh Thakur, explained how Indian maritime bodies are aiding in the transport of Indian seafarers across the globe.
Due to COVID-19, a lot of Indian seafarers are stuck in foreign ports like USA, UK, Canada, Sri Lanka, and other ports. They are eagerly waiting to come home and meet their families. The Maritime Union of India, MUI, and the National Union of Seafarers of India, NUSI, along with the industry association like INSA, MASA, FOSMA, has been communicating with the Ministry of Shipping and Ministry of External Affairs to facilitate return of Indian seafarers from overseas during this pandemic. As a result, the company have started to get our seafarers back home, not only from cargo ships but also cruise ships or through charter flights. However, we still have large number of Indian seafarers who are stuck in foreign ports, for which MA is doing its best to repatriate.
Indian coastal shipping and inland waterways has expectedly taken a few knocks from the COVID-19 pandemic, making life for its stakeholders even grimmer than before. In a recent Marex interview, the General Secretary, Captain Rakesh Singh, and Treasurer, Captain Vikas Vij of the Indian Coastal Conference Shipping Association, ICCSA, appealed to the Shipping Minister for assisting in reviving this key sector and instilling some much needed growth.
One question that's I think on everyone's mind is, what is your message now to the shipping ministry, to the shipping minister in particular, that, sir, please look at these issues. These issues are extremely critical to coastal shipping and the inland water trade. This is directed, what would you direct to the shipping minister?
Very good question and a difficult question. First of all, foremost, that the Honorable Minister Ji has categorically and repeatedly stated that he wants to see coastal shipping grow, inland waterways grow. And he had made it very emphatically, and he told his officers as well, that he wants to see significant growth of coastal shipping from existing of 6% or so share that we have, and inland waterways will be 1% or so. So his commitment and his policy directives would be, go a long way in what we want to achieve. I would rather like to club this with the future of coastal shipping, what we would request the minister, as well as where do I see the coastal shipping to be. Again, there's a long wish list that what we want from the ministry, but I would request Honorable Minister that the matters who require interministerial coordination, I would request his focus and attention on that, because once it goes beyond the Ministry of Shipping, it becomes impossible for us to do anything. So in that area, I would request Honorable Minister to help us out. For example, the long wish list that we have, I will only go through some key points from that list. One is that we have been seeking to bring inland vessels under tonnage tax scheme. Today, the tonnage tax scheme covers only vessels registered under MS Act. And this has been our long pending demand, that if inland vessels are also brought under tonnage tax, then we will have a cash flow. There will be more investors who are willing to invest the money in inland vessels or acquisition of vessels. There's one request. We all know the problems that not only shipping and all industries face with the financing. The debt servicing is a huge cost. Again, that is something which ministry cannot independently do much about it, but I do hear that there is some discussion going on whereby either some kind of a fund or a guarantee which a ministry could bring in place, and it will be easier for us to get finances. Maybe with the today financing system is such that you go to not only hypothecate the ship, but you're got a huge collateral apart from your equity investment. So this collateral part becomes very difficult for us, unlike foreign banks where your good balance sheet and your equity is enough to buy a ship, but where it doesn't happen in India. So in that regard, I think the ministry is already thinking in that line. And so that will be a good help if we could get cheaper, quicker finance. I've already told you about tonnage tax. On the regulatory front, that's where the ICCSA has a very clear mind. And this has all gone to the ministry and the concerned offices. We think that we need to have a separate body or separate act or a sub-act within MS Act for coastal shipping, whereby as of today, as far as the regulatory front is concerned, what we look at is we look at the convention and try and dilute it a little bit and then give it to the coastal shipping. That is not serving us. We need IV plus rules, not MS minus rules. And that's what we think. If you look at the example of Japan, as very successfully, China, they have created a body called JG, German Government Class. It's only to cater the Japanese coastal shipping. ZST China, only to cater Chinese coastal shipping. BKK Indonesia, they have NKK for EXIM cargo vessel and JG in Japan for coastal vessels. I think it's time that we need this kind of a body in India. We have taken it up with even in the Ministry of Shipping and of course with Directorate and the Ministry, that we should start thinking along those lines, and regulatory overload could reduce on the vessel, or at least simplify. You know, as Vikas had said earlier, that we would comply but make it simpler. And then the last thing, of course, is in our wish list is that if the fuel that is being consumed on coastal vessels could be brought under GST. Again, I mean, you know, it's a wish list, as I said, and it's not entirely up to the ministry that to do, but that's our, you know, agenda, and we have taken that up to the ministry. So, as far as future of coastal shipping is concerned, we do have certain, let's admit it, certain disadvantages. Peninsular coastline, even though it's 7,500 kilometers, is not very conducive for coastal trade. You know, we often, we don't shy away from saying so, but it's not very conducive. It's unlike straight line China has, or Australia has a, you know, rounded coast. The peninsular line has its disadvantages. But nonetheless, as I said, the share is so minimal of coastal shipping that there's only way it can move is go upwards. So, and along with the inland vessel, inland movement of cargo, when the synergy is achieved between the two, the inland movement as well as coastal, I think we should cross the double figure in next couple of years with this necessary support and blessings that I have listed out. You know.
This fiscal year, the first quarter is already gone, you know, almost gone with the June end approaching. Then now we are in the middle of foul weather season, you know, which will last for July, August, September, and practically the whole of October. So we will have about 5 to 6 months in this year where if post unlocking things move on and the pace is picked up. But in the near, short to medium term, the first goal will be to revive where coastal shipping was as before pre-COVID times. But post-COVID times, and you know, once the virus is decoded, India will be in a rush to pick up from where it left. You know, there are some drivers of growth for coastal shipping. I feel that there has to be a creation of sea logistics, cargo movement by the sea, especially where it is a linear run. Let's say from Gujarat or Maharashtra to down south, Cochin, Mangalore, and you know, I mean, you don't have to round Sri Lanka and go on the east coast or something. And similarly, there are linear runs available on the east coast. National waterways development is happening at a very slow pace at the moment, but it is picking up and a very bright topic these days. So it depends on how fast we can develop our waterways for the river sea mode of transport. And Captain Rakesh Singh is making miraculous strides on the east coast, wherever some openings have come across from the government. Also, our coastal cargo movements also depend on how the EXIM trade happens, based on more export and import of commodities. Some of it is evacuated and supplied to the major ports for export and import from the hinterland by way of trucks, rail and all that. But also it gives a boost to the coastal shipping to take the cargo from the EXIM port, from major ports and bigger minor ports like Adani and all. So for the evacuation and supply, the coastal shipping does the light rage operations, takes it from major ports to smaller ports, and from there on hinterland less. And as earlier touched upon by Captain Rakesh Singh, that the module of sea logistics is best when the last mile connectivity and first mile connectivity bottlenecks are reduced. So if the port infrastructure is good and customs and immigration and security and all these areas are cooperating and working seamlessly, of course, then the of the coastal ship of, in 1 or 2 legs, 10,000 tons moved by just one single ship. This avoids the congestion on road of each truck will have maximum 10 tons loaded, so you will have to move 1,000 trucks going through the, same roads where, your private cars, public transport is happening. A lot of pollution, spillage from the trucks. So there is an intention from Ministry of Shipping, and particularly the present minister and the present government wants to push the coastal shipping. And in the long term, I think once the our industry is port-led and there are more production hubs near the coast, then coastal shipping will be the ship owners to produce ships and to manufacture ships in India. The time has to match the world standards. The technology has to be equally good. And the last thing I will add is that the bank loans have to be available at cheaper costs. It has to be on long period lease models. So when you are fixing the charter rates, which is the end cost to the customer, running the operation is less and your time charter per day reduces, So if it is sometimes the seller's credit facilities are used in developed countries where the seller is providing the credit to you, and this is over 10 to 15 years. So if there are strides made in these directions, then the tonnage will increase.
Meanwhile, as if by intuition, the National Shipping Board of India has constituted a committee to examine the development of coastal shipping and inland waterways in India. A committee headed by Mr. Rahul Modi will specifically ascertain and prepare a report on issues relating to operations of RoRo and RoPax services along the Indian coast. NSB committee seeks stakeholder views on RoRo and RoPax. Please give your feedback or suggestions to RoRo comments at insa.org.in along with your full name and your contact details in order for the committee to connect with you. After making a rather uncertain appearance a few years ago, online training in the maritime sector is finally here to stay. But are maritime trainers sufficiently equipped to use the online tools and technology that has evolved rapidly in the last few years? To help maritime trainers become proficient with the latest in the online teaching and understand the various features the many online platforms have come equipped with, the Mumbai-based Maritime Trainers Guild MTG recently conducted its first course titled Training for E-Trainers. 33 candidates with a significant number from abroad attended this 2-day online course.
We are glad that our Train the E-Trainer program was very well received by the training fraternity of maritime industry. Maritime Trainers Guild has played a pivotal role in upgrading the trainers so that they can meet the challenge of converting from conventional classroom to digital virtual classroom training. Well, in a very short span of time, training all over the world has witnessed a metamorphosis. And this new norm of virtual classroom and live video sessions are here to stay. My friends, evolution in training has started, and MTG is well prepared to shine like a guiding beacon to all the maritime trainers. We are here to share knowledge.
Training the e-trainer course arranged by Maritime Trainers Guild has been a very good learning experience for all the trainers with an aim to digitalize our training skills. Attending this course amongst many respected and distinguished Gurujans, not only from India, but from overseas too, it has helped broaden our horizons and learn various tools available to conduct online training. There was a complete knowledge sharing throughout the course. On behalf of Team FMTI, we would highly appreciate and thank Maritime Trainers Guild for the efforts and work towards excellence in maritime training.
Canada-based Seaspan Corporation has earned an honorable mention on the USCG's prestigious Environmental Excellence Award. The William M. Beckett Award is the premier Marine Environmental Protection Award presented by the Coast Guard to members of the marine industry. The award highlights the continuous efforts of companies to maintain sustainable and effective stewardship practices. In its message to Seaspan, the Chief Officer of Port and Facility Compliance Commandant, USCG, stated, "I highly encourage you to take the time to share your successes." Under Unlock 2.0, international flights on the New Delhi-New York, Mumbai-New York routes are likely to be allowed to resume as reported recently. Private airlines will be allowed to operate between India and some airports in the Middle East Gulf. This will be a huge relief for Indian ship manning companies.
There is news trickling in that there is likely commencement of flights coming up in the commercial sector. This is definitely welcome news. At the moment, the DG Shipping has been extremely kind to allow for chartered flights with the permission of Ministry of Shipping, Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Home Affairs. We did through industry bodies and other private charters. We have been flying in and out a lot of people, but still, with considering that 20,000 seafarers are still overdue to get back home, the requirement and demand for flights is huge at this point of time. Doha has been a successful hub so far, but Colombo did run into some problems due to the requirement of the safe houses. I have an earnest plea to the government to kindly consider allowing for something like a Vande Bharat Navik Express every day to certain hub ports like Doha or Dubai, Hong Kong, Kuala Lumpur. This will definitely ease off the pressure on most companies to get their people home. I'm hoping that there will be some action on this soon, and we have made a representation to DG Shipping on this. He has been extremely considerate, and we are looking forward to more flights in the near future.
Mumbai Port Trust struck a landmark day this 26th of June. MBPT, the heart and stimulus of Mumbai's preeminence in the nation's commerce and trade, completed 147 years of success and good fortune.
Mumbai Port has completed 146 years, a very historical occasion for us in Mumbai Port. Mumbai Port is the second oldest port after Calcutta. It has seen huge successes in cargo. Times are changing now. Mumbai Port has also, being in a huge metropolitan city, Mumbai, has started changing directions. It's created a new vision like London, Barcelona, Miami. It has now started focusing on new enterprises like cargo business, water transport, tourism, along with the cargo, the liquid cargo which it is already doing. In Johardip Island, the liquid cargo, the crude cargo will continue. In fact, it will be expanded. But on the Mumbai Port side, the focus will be on the cargo which is required for Mumbai Port City. For that, a new tender has been invited so that whatever cargo is coming to Mumbai through Bhiwandi and creating a lot of infrastructure issues, traffic jams will come to Mumbai through the coastal route, and Mumbai Port per se will simultaneously focus on cruise tourism. We started in 2017 with a lot of efforts. We got 40 ships coming in, and in 1920 we got 229 ships. Because of COVID, the next season may be a little down, but the goal is that by 2025, Mumbai Port should reach 500 ships. and will be a major cruise player in the world. The employees have also come down. We are at about 6,000 employees now. By 2025, it should be around 2,500 employees with 35,000 pensioners. Pensioners have to be looked after through the additions in the pension fund. For that, the necessary plans have been declared. I can see now a very bright future for Mumbai Port because of the new makeover plan which it has prepared. There is also a plan to bring out 253 hectares of land for creating a high-tech city which will be full of gardens bigger than Hyde Park, an 11-kilometer water promenade. That means 11 kilometers marine drive, a ropeway, and many other tourism attractions. So best wishes to all the Mumbai Port employees, and the Mumbaikars can look forward to a beautiful Mumbai Port functioning in the near future.
Thank you for watching this news bulletin. See you all next Monday.